I just know this is going to be excruciatingly painful. Not in the upsetting way, it is upsetting, but to watch this. But let's go ahead and get into it. First, we'll do a little recap. We're not going to watch it all. I'm going to take a couple of clips. I haven't watched it all. You won't need a psychic, and we will pull cards at the end of it, bringing their names back into vision before I do a separate follow-up video that I'd promised to do. So if I forget, this interview was done and is credit to CBC News Nova Scotia, okay? Just a reminder, this is Lily and Jack Sullivan, okay? They're missing from the Society of Canada, so Canada, Nova Scotia and Canada, and I believe it's Pictou County. And the law enforcement in charge is RCMP. And I've got to write that down so I remember. So they were missing on the 2nd of May 2025. We're coming up to a year shortly. Last location was at their home. The parents say is they wandered off. There was a search in the woods. Lily's 6, Jack is 4. I have done previous video on this. And I got their energies coming through. And I will do a follow-up on that. Physical appearance of Lily, shoulder length light brown hair with bangs, might be wearing a pink sweater, pink pants and pink boots, might be. So they didn't even see them that morning in terms of what she got dressed. Physical description of Jack, short blondish hair, I think it's like a strawberry blonde, wearing blue dinosaur boots. So he had his hair, but the rest of him was naked apart from his dinosaur boots. That just speaks volumes, by the way, okay? I don't know their dates of birth separately. I will try to add the poster for their numbers, but if not in the description box, it's accessible. Now, on to this. So this is the interview setup. The interviewer's in the black and is that a burgundy maroon top. And these two are Malaya Brooks Murray, the mother of the 2 kids. Daniel is the stepfather. And these two are, interestingly, you know, everyone was with the grandmother of the father, the biological father. How comes they're still not speaking out? Hello, I'm not saying they know something, but everyone was so on their side and in terms of stuff they were saying. The father's never ever spoken out either. It's just I don't know. These two are friends, and I feel like this interview was damage control and also to try and lighten things up, see how things go, for in case Malaya might start to come back into the public, you know, sort of ease the tension of social media. And I will go through stuff, but the dark-haired girl, the longer dark-haired round face, you'll see it closely. I think she has the potential to crack under pressure. She is very different to the other. Obviously, I'm not keen on any of them for this interview, but this one, definitely the savior in stuck question situations. And if anything, I think she could hold up the Queen of Swords cards. If I look at the queens of the deck of tarot, because you like, if it's a psychic or tarot, that they stick to their thing. Well, it doesn't happen on this channel. You know, we've also got other things that we want to look at. Yep, Queen of Swords. So let's go in. Let's bite that bullet. Just a quick note, this first part is cringe, but it gives you a flavour of probably, let me know in the comments what you think, why this interview was done. But this is also why I switched it off at the time. I actually came across this not looking for it. I was looking for, it's about a month ago. Actually, this interview was done on the 4th of February, okay? I was looking for Jordan. I keep calling him Jason. Jordan Jurids. Maybe that's said wrong. And this came up. So here we go.
How is she doing? She's just trying to take it day by day.
So, Angeline, you've been friends with Malaya since childhood.
Yep.
And Cheryl, you're a friend, but also very close family as well. Can you walk me through May 2nd, when you learned they were missing?
I learned on a Facebook post. Me, my sister, and my friend were fishing, and I just happened to scroll Facebook, and I saw the post from the RCMP that Lily and Jack were missing, and we decided we would go over and help look for them. Before we got there, we thought that they would have been found. You know, these situations are usually resolved quickly.
How would you describe the scene that day?
Chaotic. It was very chaotic. It was busy. A lot of people, neighbors, friends, all kinds of different search and rescue. It was very stressful.
And that was your first time there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you walk?
That pause and very stressful word after, she remembers something. And what's funny about this is they say they were in the woods. I've never ever seen them on news or anything. Watch this next part.
Through when you learned about their disappearance, where were you?
I was at work when I learned about it. The notification popped up on my phone. I don't think I looked at it right away because I didn't look too deep into it. But then my coworker at lunchtime, she brought it up and she started reading like the whole thing out loud. And when she said the two names, I was like, hold on, like, wait a minute. And I just grabbed my phone and called Malaya. And I was like, are your kids missing? And she said yes. And she was very upset. Like, you could tell through the phone that she had been crying about it.
Yeah, and you were working. Did you go there that day?
I didn't that day, no.
And Cheryl, I mean, for you were there. How was she doing that day?
There was a lot of ups and downs. I think herself, she thought that the kids were going to be found and that it was going to be resolved fairly quickly. And I don't think it really set in until later that night that, you know, something was right.
And so the blanket that was found, were you there when that was found?
I wasn't there when the blanket was found, but I was taken to where the blanket was found, and it was still in the tree at that point when we had walked up.
Can you walk me through that? What was the blanket? What was the deal there?
It was just a piece of Lily's blanket. I guess it was used to cover a hole that was in like the window or door where cold air was coming in. And the piece that was in the blanket was hung over the back railing. And the other piece was thrown out after they were done using it. I think late spring. And then it was found in the tree, a couple kilometers up the road.
What did you think about that?
I found it odd, very odd, that it would go from the house to the tree.
I'll ask about...
Oh God, you don't say.
The boot print. So Angeline, you've been fixated on this case and know the details. What do you make of the boot print that matches Lily's?
Look at her pulling up her sleeves. She's like, okay, it's my turn, gotta speak. Rubbing her legs. She's trying to comfort herself. And yeah,
Foot size and boot print.
It was a clump of them. It wasn't like a trail leading up to like a set of footprints walking up anywheres. It was a clump.
Oh, so it was multiple footprints, not just one?
good point.
Oh, okay.
Did you see how she looked at Cheryl? And she's not even sure of that answer of multiple footprints because we were told it was one footprint, which kind of changes the story. Does that mean that the footprint was one footprint? Is this not a prepared question that they were prepared for? Interesting.
What's your impression of that, Cheryl?
Kind of the same as Angeline. When you find a cluster of footprints just in the middle of the road, you're kind of looking around, wondering where the
Middle of the road.
other footprints leading up to this cluster is, and there wasn't any.
And so these things, the blanket, the boot print, seem odd to you both.
Yeah.
So in terms of the RCMP investigation, Angeline, we'll start with you. What's your take on where that stands?
It's been slow. I don't know why it's been slow. Like, I don't know if it's because of the lack of evidence they might have.
And you've both, and I understand there was a request for an Amber Alert.
Yes.
Can you tell me about that?
We had asked for an Amber Alert a few hours after.
Who's we? Like, surely she... Who's we? Why is it not like there was a request from the mother, the father, the stepfather straight away already for an Amber Alert? We requested. Very strange.
After the kids had went missing, and we were told that they were working on it. So they had to send it to their supervisor, whoever deals with the Amber Alerts, and it come back saying that it didn't meet the criteria because apparently you have to have like a suspect or reason to believe that they could have been abducted. So all we got was a vulnerable missing person alert, and it only went to Pictou County, Antigonish, and Truro, I believe. So it didn't even go like Nova Scotia wide, just those 3 areas. So that was pretty disappointing.
Probably didn't go further than that. Mistake, yeah, but then they've said they just ran into the woods.
So you were told there would be an Amber Alert coming?
Yeah. They said they were like we'd ask them every hour, and a lady would tell us that they were working on it, and then we never got one. We were disappointed, but it also gave us reason to think that they thought they were in the woods and that they were going to be found and that nobody took them.
Watch this part.
And you've both been out there. We met at the volunteer search back in November. What were your impressions going back to the scene then?
I almost felt sick. We were hoping that we would be able to find them to have some type of closure to the case. But being out there gave us a little more.
Interesting head turn when she looks at the other girl, Angelina, and she says, we were hoping to find them. It's kind of like for a backup reassurance. Because they probably knew.
Our insight of the area where it wasn't as busy that day as it was on May 2nd. So we were able to really look around and get a feel for, what the woods was really like.
And so leaving there, what did you feel?
We felt a lot of disappointment, but also a lot of relief. We didn't.
That is just... I've got no words for that. What did you feel leaving the woods? A lot of disappointment, but relief. If the search ends, or if you end and you want to go have a cuppa or something, you are still going to go back out in those woods like a frantic maniac. And if the girl, Malaya, the mother, is very much disturbed about this, you're going to see your friend disturbed, lost a lot of weight, frantic, running around, apparently, but she wasn't, obviously. And you're going to head out because there's 2 kids, but you also see your friend frantic. Interesting response.
Find them, so
Look
it gave
at
us hope
Angelina's eyes
that they're
down.
still okay.
Nodding head.
Did you leave there with the impression they weren't in the woods?
Yes. Yeah.
How can you be so sure? Like, it's a woods. How can you be so sure?
Did you go through the woods with the lens of 2 little children navigating that, and whether that would be possible?
We did, like the cliffs and the hills and the water, and the amount of times that we had fallen. A number of us fell. There was a few injuries through different teams. Yeah, it's hard to think that they could have navigated any further than a kilometer, really.
And so now that we're more than 8 months into this case, how is everyone doing with this?
It seems like it gets worse every day.
Frustration comes to mind, especially when you sit there and you kind of feel like your hands are tied, and how much that.
I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. Other chapters on this are the days the kids went missing, Malaya leaving, how is Malaya? That's where I couldn't last. Online speculation, what doesn't add up? Speculation around Malaya, what do you want people to know? Holding it together. And from what I'd seen was basically talking about Malaya, losing weight, etc. But now what I'm going to do is we're going to go into some cards and see what we get, okay? Because my belief on this is that it's a strategy to do a bit of damage control, Malaya to test the waters out there, get the spotlight off her. But these two, they might not know exactly what happened, although I believe in the slightest they know something, but I believe what happened. They know what happened. They probably know where the kids are or were taken. They might not know the exact spot. This is what I believe I get from this interview. So we're going to pull cards. Okay. Let's pull some cards. Obviously everyone's innocent until proven guilty. I am not putting these two as involved in this. No, I'm not. I'm just saying in the slightest they know more than something. You get a strong yes. They know what happened. The question was, do they know what happened to Lily and Jack Sullivan? Interesting thing is we have the Queen of Swords here. And she's kind of looking over, monitoring, making sure what is said, you know, is what the whole plan is, right? And remember I said she's like the Queen of Swords, and funny enough she's come up. We've got our yes card. We've got the Knight of Wands here. So for me, they definitely know what happened. I feel like this energy is also to manage this energy here. Strong yes. Five of Cups in reverse, the loss, the Three of Cups sticking together as three females. I see that. The strong World card, because as I was shuffling, I saw the Three of Cups, and it was kind of, it fell on the ground like that, but it wasn't reversed. It's like that, so it was definitely upright. And I asked Spirit to really give me a strong confirmation whether they know where Lily and Jack are. Okay, so in the very slightest they know where one of them are. I believe they know both, but I'm just giving you that, I'm giving that option. The Five of Cups in reverse is interesting. Obviously I've only asked for confirmation, but here this is telling me, this Five of Cups in reverse is telling me that the energy is not letting go of their friendship. Okay, they're not going to let go of their friendship. There's not a letting go of their friendship. There is a callousness here, and there is a jadedness, but they're sticking together, and they know what happened to Lily and Jack, and they know where Lily and Jack are. Sorry guys. And look at that. receptive energy. Okay. I can see Angelina saying after that interview, my God, that was painful. Not in front of the interviewer. That was painful. I don't want to do that again. Painful as in it was challenging for her. How did Angelina's a dark-haired girl, and she's been the childhood friend of Malaya. All fell over in reverse. 3 of Cups in reverse, 3 of Swords in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Definitely felt challenged in that interview. We've got it here. There's this energy of like, we're friends, but this is not feeling like it's something that friends have to do, or that the positioning is just very challenging for friends to have to do. Like, it's not feeling like a friendship, as in a friendship activity. Basically, she did not find it easy at all. We've got the 3 of Swords in reverse, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse tells you a lot of how she was feeling. I think she was actually, she would have asked after it, how did it go, to her friend. And I feel like a friend, when I tap into Cheryl, she's like, it went good. That's what I think so. But here, she does feel like, you know, there is the misfortune, and there is the, what happened, which was unexpected, but it's like the inevitable of change that's happened. And she couldn't manage certain questions that were just thrown in there, where she felt like a setback and wasn't sure how to handle that. The 3 of Swords in reverse is also interesting, but overall, to get these in reverse, it tells me that spot on, she did find this a challenge. I don't think like she would, if they said to her to do it again, I think she said, no, I can't do it, I'm not good at this. I'm not going to be able to, I don't, you know, I even look at me trying to speak, I feel like this is her. She, you know, she's actually bit stuck. She felt stuck between a rock and a hard place, like the misfortune of what happened to the kids, and yet this friendship. But she's not seeing the part she's playing correctly in the loss of heartbreak of obviously these kids, because she's trying to be the friend. So would I be right in saying that between these two, if they grabbed Angelina to speak to her like law enforcement, could she break down, and that would give some indication, or even say something? Could she, like, basically a bit more under pressure snap? Queen of Pentacles, a 2 of Wands, and the 7 of Cups. Yeah, she's not going to be able to manage some of what comes through to her. Here, you know, especially when it comes towards talking about Malaya being the mother, she's going to feel a bit lopsided in her decisions of what to say against what the fact is. And there's the 2 of Wands and the confusion around it. So, and I'm going to check the bottom of the deck, because I just knew there would be a major arcana to seal it as a yes. Okay. Interestingly, Queen of Swords is here, so we are going to just check one last question. 2 last questions. How did Cheryl feel? And then another question. I hope I don't forget it. Okay. we've had these number of cards. So Strength in reverse, Seven of Swords in reverse, Sun in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is also, I get from this is that she felt it was going to be a lot easier than it was. She felt like she maybe didn't keep it together, but she does feel like in terms of vocalizing like truths or trying to portray the truth, that she did do. Like she feels like she did master that energy with the Seven of Swords. The Sun is like some of it did not go quite as planned when it came to specific question around the woods and the kids being out there in the woods or looking for the kids, not finding the kids. I think that was a question. Reverse, not finding the kids in the woods. I feel like she felt like her answer should have been possibly different here. It's interesting, we've got very strong Leo energy as well, which kind of tells me her energy, you know, she was happy to be at the forefront of this. Strength and the Sun card. But there was definitely self-doubt there. Definitely self-doubt. And she knew she needed to exercise like self-control in terms of the deceptive energy that was needed to be sort of not shone a light on it with the Sun in reverse. And one of those areas definitely, or the area mostly, was about the woods question. It's not about, it wasn't about Malaya. Yeah. Very similar cards. Okay. Bottom of the deck. Feeling a bit tired on what she can say. But swords again. Holding secrets. So let's just ask one last question. Please give me a clear answer. Was this Malaya's idea to do this? Get a yes. Quite a few cards fell out. And was Cheryl up for it as saying a good idea? Yeah, absolutely as well. Four of Cups. Not to remain quiet in the background here again. And Malaya, definitely, you know, like I said, there's a thing of like possibly testing the waters if she can come out of hiding. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope you found this interesting, and I will be doing a recap of the reading, adding a little bit more context in it, about what happened with that Lily and Jack, and see how I feel in terms of their energy now, because I do remember the great sadness I felt in terms of Lily. Anyway, everyone, take care, stay blessed, and bye for now.